Remember when your Super Bowl champion quarterback was getting arrested for drunk driving in a limo while wearing sunglasses indoors? Jim McMahon, Super Bowl ring, Hall of Fame talent. And he spent more time fighting the NFL than playing football. The '85 Bears changed football, made it entertainment, made it money, made it madness. You recorded the Super Bowl Shuffle on VHS. Your dad had a Ditka mustache for Halloween. Saturday Night Live made Da Bears sketches that your uncle still quotes. But what happened when the cameras stopped rolling? Some got rich, others got broken, and one completely disappeared. This is what happened to the greatest defense ever assembled. Jim McMahon. Sunglasses indoors. Headband that said ROZELLE to flip off the commissioner during the NFC Championship. Commissioner ROZELLE watched from the press box, called it a great gag. Even Ditka didn't know what it said at first. That's the kind of chaos McMahon brought. Super Bowl 20 champion quarterback who led the '85 Bears to 15-1. The guy who made Chicago forget about losing. Football ended in 1996, and McMahon got angry. Filed class action lawsuits against the NFL for hiding concussion damage, became the poster boy for medical marijuana in sports, Cannabis Sports Policy Project spokesperson, fighting your league while his memory disappears piece by piece. 2003 DUI arrest, 2012 bank board scandal, FDIC lawsuits, financial mess. Meanwhile, dementia eating his brain from 15 years of getting his bell rung. The same guy who wore that ROZELLE headband during the NFC Championship, now he can't remember what he had for breakfast. Today at 65, still advocating for weed while he can't remember yesterday. The rebel who told Ditka to shut up is now telling the NFL they owe him his mind back. Walter Payton. Sweetness. 5'10" of pure determination, who only missed one game in 13 seasons. 9 Pro Bowls, NFL MVP, Super Bowl 20 champion, rushed for 16,726 yards when defenders were trying to decapitate you. After retiring as the NFL's all-time leading rusher, Payton couldn't sit still, started a restaurant chain, bought into IndyCar racing, launched a construction company, even tried to buy an NFL expansion team. The man who carried the Bears on his back was carrying million-dollar business deals. Then 1998 hits. Rare liver disease, primary sclerosing cholangitis. Your childhood hero needs a liver transplant but can't get one because the cancer spread too fast. November 1st, 1999. Walter Payton dies at 46. The man who never missed a game couldn't beat the clock when it mattered most. Willie Gault, 6'1" of pure speed who made defensive backs look like they were running in quicksand. Chicago Bears receiver from 1983 to 1987. Olympic sprinter turned NFL weapon. Ran a 4.13 40-yard dash in cleats. Super Bowl 20 champion who caught passes from Jim McMahon while the defense that made Saturday Night Live sketches was demolishing everything in sight. Most NFL legends retire and open car dealerships. Willie Gault never stopped running. At age 45, he set the World Masters record in the 100 meters. At 50, broke his own record again. At 55, still the fastest man alive in his age group. Oh, and he became a Hollywood actor. 20 episodes on The Pretender from 97 to 2000. Guest appearances on other shows, making more money in front of cameras than most of his Bears teammates made in their entire NFL careers. Today at 65, still holds multiple World Masters records in sprinting. The man who caught touchdown passes alongside Walter Payton is literally the fastest senior citizen on planet Earth, the Super Bowl champion who never slowed down. Emery Moorehead, 6'2", hands like glue. Caught passes for the '85 Bears when rules did not protect players like they do today. Super Bowl 20 champion. The tight end who blocked for Walter Payton and caught touchdowns from Jim McMahon. Part of the team that recorded the Super Bowl Shuffle and got a Grammy nomination. When Chicago demolished the Patriots 46-10, Moorehead was in the trenches making it happen. After 1988, Moorehead didn't chase Hollywood dreams or open restaurant chains. He went home to Northbrook, Illinois and started selling houses. Real estate agent for Koenig & Stray, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. 27 years of showing suburban families their dream kitchens and master bedrooms. But get this, the hands that caught touchdown passes in front of 100,000 screaming fans became the most trusted hands in North Shore real estate. No cameras, no crowds, just quiet success business, one house key at a time. Today at 70, still in Illinois. The tight end who helped deliver Chicago's only Super Bowl spent 3 decades delivering dream homes instead. Jimbo Covert, 6'4", 271 pounds of pure protection. The left tackle who helped make Jim McMahon look good. 2-time All-Pro, voted to the Pro Bowl twice in 8 seasons. Super Bowl 20 champion. He blocked for Walter Payton and made sure the refrigerator had a clear path to that Monday Night Football touchdown against Green Bay. You know what's wild? While your other NFL legends were opening businesses and doing autograph signings, Jimbo Covert put on a suit and tie, became a healthcare executive, started at Baxter International selling physical therapy equipment, director of sales and development. Then 1992 hits, vice president at Caremark Physical Therapy, took them from 50 locations to 127 locations across 14 states. Revenue, over $120 million. He went from protecting quarterbacks to acquiring entire healthcare companies, became senior vice president at Horizon Healthcare, made more money in one boardroom deal than his entire NFL career. Today at 65, still in the healthcare business. The left tackle who blocked for sweetness spent 30 years building a medical empire while most fans forgot he existed. Remember where you were when the fridge scored on Monday Night Football? When Soldier Field exploded? When your dad jumped off the couch screaming? Drop a comment. Tell us your '85 Bears memory. The jerseys, the shuffle, the moment you knew they were different. That's what made them more than a team. They were a cultural moment. Jay Hilgenberg, 6'3", the anchor of the greatest offensive line in Bears history. 7 Pro Bowls from 1985 to 1991. All-Pro 4 straight years. The center who snapped the ball to Jim McMahon during Super Bowl 20. Protected Walter Payton for over 16,000 rushing yards. 13 NFL seasons blocking for legends while defenders tried to cave in his skull. When football ended in 1993, Hilgenberg didn't disappear into some quiet retirement. He went right back to the Bears. Same team, same city, same Soldier Field. But now he's in the radio booth, calling plays instead of making them. WBB-MAM Radio, Bears Radio Network. Game analyst for over 30 years. The man who used to snap footballs now breaks down X's and O's for your Sunday afternoon drive home, still getting paid by the same franchise that made him famous. Oh, and the Pro Football Hall of Fame? They keep nominating him, year after year. The center who made sweetness possible is still waiting for his call to Canton. Today at 65, still talking Bears football on Chicago radio. Steve McMichael, Mongo, 6'2", 270 pounds of pure Chicago meanness. 15 NFL seasons terrorizing quarterbacks from Green Bay to New England to the Windy City. But it was with the Bears where he became a legend, part of that legendary '85 defense. Super Bowl 20 champion, the guy who made offensive linemen have nightmares. After hanging up the cleats in 1994, most NFL legends disappear. Not Mongo, he became a professional wrestler. WCW, joined the Four Horsemen stable alongside Ric Flair, won the United States Heavyweight Championship. Do you remember this? A Super Bowl champion body slamming people for money while wearing sequin tights. Made it work for years. Then sports radio in Chicago. Coached the Chicago Slaughter indoor football team from 2007 to 2013. The man who sacked quarterbacks was now teaching kids how to do it. 2021 hits. ALS diagnosis. Lou Gehrig's disease. The same hands that terrorized NFL offenses can't hold a fork. 2024 finally gets his Pro Football Hall of Fame call. 30 years late, but he made it. April 23, 2025. Steve McMichael dies at 67. The wrestler who once body slammed his way to championship gold couldn't pin down time. Richard Dent, 6'5", gold teeth that flashed when he smiled. Super Bowl 20 MVP, the defensive end who sacked Dan Marino and made grown quarterbacks cry for 15 brutal seasons. 203 career sacks, when defenders were allowed to actually hit people. 4 Pro Bowls. Hall of Fame in 2011. The man who terrorized the pocket while his teammates recorded the Super Bowl Shuffle and got Grammy nominations. You know what happened after football ended? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. While other Super Bowl legends were opening businesses, getting arrested, or dying young, Richard Dent just vanished. Moved back to Chicago, raised his 4 kids, showed up for a Boost Mobile commercial in 2010 with his old teammates. That's it. No restaurant chains, no scandals, no bankruptcy, no tragic health battles. The man who terrorized NFL quarterbacks for 15 years became the most boring retired athlete in Chicago history. Today at 64, still lives quietly in Chicago with his children. Still signs autographs when asked. The legendary defensive end chose the most peaceful retirement imaginable. Sometimes the most shocking thing a legend can do is absolutely nothing at all. Otis Wilson, 6'2" linebacker who helped anchor one of the greatest defenses ever assembled. 10 NFL seasons from 1980 to 1989. Super Bowl 20 champion. Part of the Bears defense that gave up 0 touchdowns in the playoffs. Most NFL legends retire and open businesses or fade into autograph signings. Wilson? He became the guy who never left. Started the Otis Wilson Charitable Association right after hanging up his cleats. Health and fitness programs for at-risk youth in Chicago. Not some celebrity photo op charity. He's there every day, running programs, mentoring kids. The linebacker who used to tackle running backs now tackles childhood obesity and gang violence. 2010, Super Bowl 44. Boost Mobile commercial. Wilson and his 85 Bears teammates resurrect the Super Bowl Shuffle on national television. 25 years later, still dancing. 2017, publishes If These Walls Could Talk. Chicago Bears with Triumph Books. The inside stories your other NFL legends won't tell. Today at 67, still running his nonprofit in Chicago. The man who was part of the most famous defense in NFL history never stopped defending his city. Mike Singletary, Samurai Mike. Eyes that could burn holes through steel, and a stare that made grown men question their life choices. 10 Pro Bowls. 2-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year. The middle linebacker who turned the Bears defense into a wrecking machine from 1981 to 1992. Hall of Fame in 1998. The guy who made quarterbacks check under their beds at night. You know what happened after he hung up the cleats? Singletary couldn't stop coaching. Baltimore Ravens linebackers coach. San Francisco 49ers defensive coordinator. Then 2009 hits, the 49ers make him head coach. The same intense stare that terrorized NFL offenses? Now it's burning into his own players during timeouts. But get this, after bouncing around NFL coaching jobs for years, Mike Singletary ends up coaching high school football at Trinity Christian, then the Memphis Express, then something called the TSL Generals. Won a championship in 2020, coaching guys who weren't even born when he was crushing people in Chicago. Today at 66, still coaching, still staring. The man who made the Bears defense legendary never stopped teaching other people how to hit. Your Hall of Fame linebacker became a high school coach, and somehow that makes perfect sense. Halloween 1985. Every other kid was McMahon with fake sunglasses. Your neighbor was Ditka with a drawn-on mustache. Someone's dad showed up to the school party as the Fridge. Drop a comment. Who did you dress up as? Or who did your dad embarrass you as? We're collecting receipts. Wilbur Marshall, 6'1" of pure violence. The linebacker who could end your season with one hit. 11 NFL seasons from 1984 to 1995. 2-time Pro Bowler. Super Bowl champion with the 85 Bears defense that gave up 0 touchdowns in the playoffs. He could read your mind and separate your soul from your body on the same play. All those hits Marshall delivered, his body kept the receipts. Spine deteriorating, shoulder destroyed, knees that sounded like gravel in a blender. Doctors said surgery could fix it. Marshall said no, refused to go under the knife. The same toughness that made him a legend was killing him. 2003, files for disability benefits from the NFL. They said no. Players' unions said no. Marshall spent 5 years fighting in court while bankruptcy lawyers circled like vultures. Legal fees ate everything. Medical bills ate the rest. 2008, finally wins his case, gets his disability benefits. Today at 62, still refusing surgery. The linebacker who never backed down from a fight won't back down from his own broken body. Chose pain over the operating table, and somehow that makes perfect sense. Leslie Frazier, the quiet cornerback who intercepted 2 passes in Super Bowl 20, 5 seasons in Chicago from 1981 to 1985, part of that legendary defense, the one Bill Swirsky and his superfans parodied on SNL for 2 decades. Then, 1986 hits, knee injury in preseason, career over at 27. Most players would fade into obscurity, not Frazier. Started coaching at Trinity International University in 1988, population 3,000 students. Nobody cared. But Frazier was building something. 8 years later, NFL calls, defensive coordinator in Cincinnati, then Minnesota, Tampa Bay, Baltimore, Buffalo. The quiet kid from Mississippi was becoming the guy NFL teams trusted with their entire defense. 2010, Minnesota Vikings make him head coach. 4 seasons, 21 wins, 32 losses, and 1 tie. 1 playoff appearance. Got fired in 2013. A lot of coaches would disappear after that. You know what Frazier did? Kept climbing. Buffalo Bills defensive coordinator. 2 more years as assistant head coach. 2024, Seattle Seahawks assistant head coach at 65 years old. Still on NFL sidelines, the cornerback who got 2 picks in the biggest game of his life spent 4 decades proving that sometimes losing everything is just the beginning. Gary Fensick, Yale graduate, safety with a business degree who hit like a linebacker and thought like a CEO. 12 seasons in Chicago from 1976 to 1987. 2-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl 20 champion, the smartest guy on a defense full of maniacs. While Ditka was throwing headsets and McMahon was flipping off commissioners, Fensick was quietly studying the game like a final exam. After football, walked straight into finance. Wells Fargo, UBS, making real money while his teammates were doing autograph signings. 1995, joins Adam Street Partners as a private equity executive. The same guy who used to pick off quarterbacks was now picking winning investments. Oh, and he did some TV work. CBS paired him with James Brown in 1988, WGN Radio from 1990 to 1993, but that was just side money. 2012, unanimously voted chairman of the Illinois Lottery Board. Today at 70, still making more in 1 year than most of his Super Bowl teammates made in their entire NFL careers. The Yale safety who tackled Tony Dorsett is now tackling million-dollar deals. Mike Ditka, Iron Mike, mustache thick as a steel brush, and a scowl that could stop traffic. The original tight end who redefined the position. 11 brutal seasons from 1961 to 1972. 1961, Rookie of the Year, 5 Pro Bowls. Won the 1963 NFL Championship with the Bears. Won Super Bowl 6 with the Cowboys in 72. Hall of Fame career that was just the warm-up act. Came back to Chicago in 1982 as head coach. Took a team that hadn't won anything in 18 years and built the greatest defense ever assembled. Super Bowl 20, 46-10. Ditka called them Grabowskis, blue-collar Chicago guys who'd destroy the Pretty Boy Smiths. And they did. Defense gave up 0 touchdowns in the playoffs. The demolition was so complete that Saturday Night Live made Da Bears sketches for the next 20 years. Here's the crazy part. Ditka is the only person who was part of both Bears championships, played in the '63 title game, coached Super Bowl 20, 22 years apart. Same city, same team, different era. After coaching, ESPN analyst for 17 years. Ditka's restaurant empire in Chicago became a living legend. The cigar-chomping, headset-throwing icon who made defense cool again. Commercial deals, endorsements, made more money talking about football than he ever did playing it. Today, at 85, still has the mustache, still selling steaks with his face on them. The man who won championships as both player and coach became bigger than the team itself. Ditka is Chicago football. Dan Hampton, Danimal, 6'5" of pure Arkansas fury, who spent 12 seasons turning quarterbacks into hamburger meat. 4 Pro Bowls, All-Pro 3 times. The anchor of the greatest defense ever assembled, that 85 Bears unit that gave up 0 touchdowns in the playoffs. Super Bowl 20 champion who made grown men afraid to drop back and pass. While other NFL legends faded into obscurity or became talking heads on ESPN, Hampton never left Chicago, never left the Bears. 12 years after his career ended in 1990, gets the call. Pro Football Hall of Fame. 2002, Gold Jacket, speech in Canton. The recognition he deserved for terrorizing the NFC Central. Hampton's different though. Today at 67, still talking Bears football every Sunday. WGN radio postgame show. Same gravelly voice that used to scream at offensive linemen, now breaking down why the defense can't stop the run. The man who helped create the most dominant defense in NFL history is still explaining defense to Chicago fans 34 years later. Most Hall of Famers move on. Hampton never left the building. Dave Duerson, safety, 4 Pro Bowls, 2 Super Bowl rings, one with the 85 Bears, another with the Giants in 90. The guy who could read quarterbacks like a book and hit like a freight train. 11 seasons of laying people out while your other defenders wished they had his instincts. After hanging up the cleats in 1993, Duerson went straight into business, bought 3 McDonald's restaurants in Louisville, Golden Arches, Golden Opportunity, but sold them after just 5 months in 1995. Then he found his real play, purchased majority interest in Fair Oaks Farms, formerly Brooks Sausage Company, made it work for 7 years, sold his stake in 2002, and launched Duerson Foods, his own company, his own empire. Then 2006 hits, company forced into receivership, and the business collapsed. The same brain that read NFL offenses couldn't save his own operation. February 17, 2011, Dave Duerson shoots himself in the chest at age 50. Left a note asking that his brain be studied for CTE. Your Super Bowl champion knew exactly what football had done to his mind. William the Refrigerator Perry, 335 pounds of pure spectacle. The defensive tackle who became America's sweetheart. Super Bowl 20 champion who scored a touchdown in the biggest game of his life on Monday Night Football against Green Bay. Folk hero status overnight. The most famous lineman who ever lived. 10 seasons bulldozing through offensive lines from 1985 to 1994. Coach Mike Ditka sent this rookie in as a running back just to mock other teams. The crowd went absolutely insane every time number 72 lined up in the backfield. After football ended, the fridge completely fell apart. Diabetes hit first, then Guillain-Barré syndrome in 2008. The neurological disorder nearly killed him in 2009. Dropped to 190 pounds, hospitalized for weeks. The man who once bench pressed 500 pounds couldn't control his own body. Had to sell his Super Bowl ring to pay off IRS debt. The same ring he earned bulldozing into the end zone while America cheered. Gone for $200,000. He never saw a dime. Today, at 62, lives in an assisted living facility. Uses a wheelchair. The refrigerator who made Monday Night Football magic? Gone. What's left is a man who requires constant care just to survive. One team, 17 completely different endings. That's what happens when the party ends, when the cameras leave, when legends become people. The 85 Bears didn't just dominate defenses, they dominated headlines, commercials, and pop culture. Then real life hit. Some got rich, some got broken, and one completely disappeared, just like we said at the start. If this brought back memories, hit that subscribe button, because next week we're doing the 1972 Miami Dolphins, the only undefeated team in NFL history. The perfect season, the wildest after parties football has ever seen. Until next time, let us know in the comments, just like those old SNL sketches asked, who wins a game between Ditka and God?